Exercise very slowly. Once again. Second part of lesson 3 of the College of Piping's Green Book, where we're going to be talking about throws and doublings. Each note has associated with it a doubling, which is a group of 3 grace notes played before the note for the purpose of embellishing it and adding interest to the melody. On some notes, we can also do a throw, which has the same effect. The throw on D is practiced first because it is the only one which may be played in alternative ways. Alternative ways of playing the throw on D. Most of the top pipers, especially in Pibroch, the Call More, will make the throw on D in what we call style 1 and beginning on a low A. So for summary, I've drawn out style 1 and style 2 on the board here. Some people also call it the light style, or as style 2 is the heavy style, so you have the 2 there. So the light style, you would start with an A, you go down to the low G. The low G is the most important note in the throw in the D, so you must make a nice clear low G. And then it's a D grace note to come up to the C, as we've been practicing in the earlier part of the chapter, and then you finish on the D. So that should sound like this. Just to do it again. So obviously when you play that a little bit faster, those notes then become closer together and you would see it written out like that, which is basically the same as that, but just as in a grace note format. The second style, or the heavy style, especially in call bag, so used for marches, strathspeys and reels, etc., is played more quickly and evenly with slightly less emphasis on the first low G, again beginning on the low A. So played slowly, that would sound like this. If you play the light one fast, it would become play the heavy one fast, it becomes. So I don't know if you could hear the difference there, is that one has one more grace note in there than the other, and that is shown on the diagram here. So you should be able to hear 2 low G grace notes separated by a D grace note on the heavy, whereas in the light there is only 1 G grace note. So the tendency is to make that a little bit longer, but in both styles you must hear the low G. Page 62 of the tutor, there is an exercise right at the very bottom, which is the thrown D exercise. So that is the final exercise on that page 62, which you should now be able to do. And it basically takes you through the scale to using throwing the D. Style 2 can sound a bit unpleasant if it's played too openly. So particularly for the use in pibroch and slow airs. So for that reason, I would suggest concentrating learning style 1. For the moment. But obviously as your playing progresses, you will want to learn the heavy style as well, as some bands will insist on knowing both. For all the tunes that we use in the Scotch Watch band, at this stage, as we don't play pibroch as a band, we will be using the heavy, which is so if you want to be part of the Scotch Watch band, that's what to play. The throw on D usually appears in tunes immediately following some other notes, so it is important to be able to perform the doubling after other notes without mistake or hesitation. So we'll now try different examples using style 1 and style 2. So I've written out here using the light version, going from the F down to a D using the light throw in between. Okay, so that should sound like, once more. Okay. Similarly, in the second example here, using the heavy version, we're going to go from a B, do the heavy throw on the D, and then back on the D. So that should sound like. So when the movement has been practiced for a while, it can be done quite quickly. And some of the notes become so short that they are really grace notes and are joined together. Practice the D throw from every note on the scale, as I showed you on page 62 of the tutor. There is a good exercise there to do that. Most pipers, no matter how they play the throw on the D, write it as style 1. So that's what you're going to see now as you go through the book. So by now, having practiced and revised all that has gone on before, you're ready to learn your first tune. Keep playing regularly, up and down the scale. The G, D and E grace notes should be building up dexterity where it is most needed. Be sure that you can perform the throw on the D accurately, even if slowly, from all notes. With this ability soundly acquired, the playing of tunes only requires the coordination of eyes and fingers. Remember that the job of the eyes is to watch the music. Do not watch yourself. Do not develop the bad habit of watching yourself, watching your fingers. Okay, good luck.